Hey everybody, Chris with Night of Living Card Games, back again for day 5 of my Earthborne Rangers campaign. So, in the last game, day 4, it started raining in the valley. We got a downpour, and some of the locations in the towns nearby started flooding. So, as a ranger, I was tasked to go help the citizens of those towns in. So, if we look at our campaign tracker here, we are now on day 5. We're currently doing the Rising Waters. We had ended our day at White Sky, which is one of the locations. But for day 5, it says we have to read entry 94.7. So let's see what that's about. 94.7. You hear a whistle from around your tent and stumble out bleary-eyed to see Zek Sal in your campsite atop his stilt horse. "Got something for you," he shouts and tosses you a leaf-wrapped package. "It's from Lun. He says thanks for saving his life." You open it to find packs of needle tea. Each ranger gains 1 energy in an aspect of their choice for the first round. All right. So that was, I think, day 2. When we were up around the northern outpost, we got to rescue Lun up. So we get an energy by choice. I'm actually going to choose awareness because I'm thinking I'm going to want to do some scouting this turn. So with the flooding, read in. So we're in White Sky here. So the wind has been rising steadily and now is blowing the rain in huge sheets across the lake. Swelling tributary streams threaten to overtake the shoreline. Animals and villagers alike flee to safety lest they be caught in the flood. So we have to divert the flood by clearing beings equal to features while they have a flood card attached. So we've got our 2 flood cards here. We have to do the initial setup first. Now, we have to do the initial setup, draw our cards. So let me give my deck a shuffle. And then, because we're on day 1 after we were given the mission, we would attach one of the flood cards to a being or feature in play. Now, that's going to require us to actually draw a being or feature from the top of the path deck. But let me draw my opening hand first. Boundary sensor, versatile, photoscopic headset, that's good. Eagle eye is good. Oru is good. Persuasive. Okay. So I'm going to keep my headset. I'm going to keep Eagle eye. I'm going to keep Oru. I'm going to keep boundary sensor as well. I am going to mulligan those 2, which is another Eagle eye, and then Artel's vaulting rod. Okay. All right, shuffle my deck up here. All right, so I read the flavor for starting the day or arriving at White Sky, and the arrival setup, which still happens when you end the day previously. Lead ranger has to draw a card. All right. I did change my setup a little bit with the 2 overlapping screens. I moved my missions over here. So hopefully I will remember them. All right, let me shuffle up the path deck a little bit. And then we draw our initial one. It is a prowling wolfhound. That is definitely not what I want. Well, actually, no, that is a being. So that is good. So now I do the rising water setup, which is, because it's 1 day, I attach 1 to a being in play, and then the other one gets shuffled into the deck. All right, guess I should have done Spirit to start with, so I could try to connect to this, do an Uber connect. Of course, we're just not going to be able to. All right, not on turn 1. So what we are going to do is we are going to spend 2 to get Uru the sheepdog out. And then Uru is going to exhaust to move this Wolfhound up here and put 2 progress on it. I'm going to spend 1 focus to get my photoscopic headset out. Then I'm going to play 1 awareness to play Eagle Eye, and then I'll use the headset, so I'll scout 4, then draw 1 path card. And because I'm not interacting with these things, I don't take fatigue from this, so let's look at the top 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, we've got Artel the Angler, a buck, and an overgrown thicket. Well, I definitely don't want the thicket. You know what? I'm going to put Artel on top. I'm going to put everything else on the bottom because I need to get that other flood card up. So effectively, this goes on top, and I draw Artel. So who's apparently back from the Golden Shore. And then, what is it? Entry 48 for him. Let me read that entry up here. You catch sight of Artel perched on a rock just offshore, staring at the ripples where a fishing line sits undisturbed amid the gentle waves. The angler looks in your direction and calls to you. I don't suppose you are on your way to the Golden Shore again? Clear Artel with progress to discuss another fishing trip. Well, I would love to, but not right now. All right, I am going to spend 1 to get a boundary sensor out. I'm gonna... Do I Eagle Eye? No, I think I'll wait till next turn to Eagle Eye just to do that. So what can I do here? I am going to throw my... I am going to try it. I'm going to do my 2 remaining awareness to try to avoid that. So it is a 2 versus 2. Not great, but we're going to try it. -2. Absolutely not. All right, so we first have to take care of the challenge effects. So since we're in a downpour, the yellow sun is discard 1 rain from this card, and each ranger suffer 1 fatigue. So we're down to 3. I suffer a fatigue. Right, now over here, ready another Prowling Wolfhound, nope. And then the flood says add a flood token to the attached card. All right, so if he gets 2 flood tokens and then I draw a red crest, he will get swept away in the flood. And now I immediately... reshuffle this. Oh, I forgot to put my 4 counters on my boundary sensor. Alright, because I have to hit White Sky and the Golden Shore, I am not going to try to put some progress on there right now, because even if I avoid one of these, the Wolfhound, I'll still take 1 fatigue from the flood. So I want to try to keep my deck as full as possible to give me as much time as possible. So we are just going to end our turn. All right, so we're resting. I don't have progress to travel, so now we reset. Only going back to 2 awareness. Drawing a card, which is another Uru the Sheephound. Apparently my ranger deck is upside down. And now we draw a path card. Come on, Flood. Nope, a Sit Godot. All right. Yeah, let's just We're going to Oru to pull the Woolhound back towards me and put another 2 progress on it. Now we're going to use 2 spirit and this extra Oru that I've got to try to connect with the Woolhound. So I am a 3 versus 2. -1, so I'm a 2 versus 2, so I succeed. My total effort is 2, so I get to add 2 to this. So that is a 6, and its threshold is 6, so it clears. So the Woolhound clears and gets to... Oh, actually, no, it doesn't. Is this a prey? Nope, just a predator. All right. Because I do have lure out still, so I am also kind of looking for prey, but... All right. When a card with a flood attachment is cleared, play 1 progress on this mission, and then shuffle flood back into the deck. All right, so we've got 1 progress. So we need to get 3 progress on this card at this location. Then we need to run over to Golden Shore and do it there as well. So, flood... Get shuffled in. I am going to spend 1 awareness to play Eagle Eye and use my headset to scout 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, we got a buck, a lake guide, and a sunberry bramble. As nice as all those the bucks would be for prey, and the Vera lake guide would be interesting to see what she gives us. I'm looking for flood, so we're just going to put that on, all of them on the bottom, and then draw 1 blind. It is flood. Perfect. I'm actually going to put it on Artel because I want to clear him out anyway. All right. Now I think I am going to... Oh, hang on a second. Do I need to move him? Oh, yeah, I got to move him to along the way. Sorry. I technically was supposed to do that with the Woolhound as well. It wouldn't have affected anything in the first game, so that's okay. All right, so Eagle Eye goes away. So I'm going to try to traverse White Sky. I'm going to exhaust my Ranger card to avoid the doe. Or... You know what? Actually, no, we are, because he's only got a presence of 1, so I don't want to mess around with a lot of tests here. So I'm going to avoid this one. I'm still going to take 1 fatigue from the flood itself. And we're going to put in all 3 of my fit. And then I'm going to use 1 of my lures. So I'm putting in a 4 effort versus 1. 0. So I succeed, and I get to put 4 progress on there. And now red challenge effects. So nothing here. Missions. If there are 2 active predators, nope, nothing there. Okay, over here. So Artel says if there's an active predator, there's not, so I get to ignore that. The flood says if the number of flood tokens on the attached card is greater than its presence, discard it, and each ranger suffers 3 fatigue. So no. He doesn't have any flood tokens, so I'm still good there. All right. That is my turn. I still have an awareness and a focus, but I don't know if I really want to try. I suppose at the moment, the worst that there is a yellow sun. No, we're just going to leave it. Okay, we're going to rest ourselves. We are not going to travel. We're going to ready everything up. reset our energy. Draw a card into Healing Touch. And then we're going to draw a path card. The path card is Overgrown Thicket. It is an obstacle along the way. All right. Might have to pull out Artel's Vaulting Rod here. All right, first things first. We're going to use Oru to herd Artel back here and put 2 progress on him. Since he is a being, Oru can do that. And effectively, Oru just jumped into the flood to grab Artel and bring him back over to me. That is 2 progress. That is enough to clear him. So flood is going to get shuffled back into the path deck. And then we'll read Artel's clear instructions. All right. So clear, and I found the perfect fishing spot. I was just thinking about that spot on the Golden Shore you showed me. Best fishing I've had in years. If you're heading that way, mind if I tag along? I'm afraid I can't give you anything for it, but I would certainly welcome the opportunity. No safer place than by the side of a ranger. We can either agree to bring Artel to the Golden Shore, remove all progress from him, and attach Helping Hand, or not today, discard him, and then soothe the fatigue. We'll do it. We're going to, since we've got to go to Golden Shore anyway, what the heck. All right, let me get the mission. All right. All right, so we have got Helping Hand. Okay, and then I think I'm just checking here real quick. So I think I just clear it once I get him there. Let me take a look here real quick. Yeah, I think I just clear when I get him there. So, all right. So that was, what was that? Oh, that was clearing him with Oru. That's right. Yeah, I'm gonna traverse the Overgrown Thicket. I'm gonna dodge the Sitka. So I'm a 3 versus a 1. -1, so that is 2. And that only takes 2 progress, so that gets cleared out. So now we do red crest effects, nothing here. 2 or more active predators, no. Nope, nope. And if there's an active predator, nope. All right, so that clears that out. I'm gonna try to connect with the Sitka. 2 versus 1. -1. I succeed, but only a 1 progress, or 1 effort. So only 1 there. Red challenge effect, nothing happens. I would like to scout. But do I want to take 1 fatigue for doing that? I'm going to say no. I'm going to wait till next turn. We'll see if this comes back to bite me. I'm going to wait till next turn so I can hopefully dodge the doe while doing that. All right, so nothing else I want to do. I can't put Artel's Vaulting Rod into play. I can't play Healing Touch even if there was somebody that was injured. I don't want to try to do the scout to take the fatigue. If I'm just going to rest, there's no point in trying to exhaust that being, and I would be a 1 versus 1 to try to draw a card. Let's see. Honestly, nothing terrible happens if I do that, so sure. Let's do 1 versus 1. It's a 0, so I succeed, so I get to scout 1. Insightful. I'm going to put that on the bottom of my deck and draw a card into Persuasive. All right, blue challenge effect. Nothing there. Nope. Add 1 token to the weather. So up to 4. If there's an active predator, there is not. All right, that is that. And again, no, I'm going to do it. I'm going to spend 2 awareness and a healing touch to go in with an effort of 3 to do this. The doe is going to fatigue me for 1. So I'm a 3 versus 1 on this awareness test. -1. Oh, and I'm scouting, so I'm using my photoscopic headset. So I succeed. It is a 2 with a total of 2 progress. So I get to scout 2 plus 1, so 3 cards. 1, 2, 3. Flood would have been the next one, too. Okay. I'm going to put Sunberry Bramble on the bottom, and then I'll put Leaf Flood on top, and Elder Murtok Grawl after that, so that I know I've got a card coming up that isn't going to do anything to me. So I draw a card, and hey, look, it's Flood. Okay. So now we do the yellow sun effect. So we remove a cloud, and we are fatigued 1. Nothing here. I need to add a token. Oh, put the wrong die in there. So that's for progress for before. This is the flood token on it. So if I draw a red crest, this doe will be swept away. So that is not great. And so that ended up being a bad decision on my part because it happened to be that Flood was at the top. So I have fatigued myself an extra 2 cards to do nothing, and I put the doe in more danger. But c'est la vie. All right, so let us rest. We're not going to travel, so we're going to reset ourselves. Reset our energy. Draw a path card. It is Elder Murtok Grawl, and I am going to be reading entry 51. I don't think I added the extra token because I cleared Artel and the Woolhound. So yeah, I should be at 2 on that. Oops. All right, so that was 51. All right. Let's see here. As you walk along White Sky's outermost platform, you see Elder Murtok Grawl leaning out over the railing, eyes focused on the lake. He has a long, thin fishing pole in one hand, casting with quick, practiced motions. He seems distracted, however, staring at the distant shore. "Oh, hello," he says. "Always good to have rangers on the platforms." His eyes never leaving the shoreline. He seems to be looking for something. We know that's quiet, because he already asked us to go check on him. So, all right, so that is that. So what I need to do here is I need to connect with this doe, get at least one on it, and then Uru add the other two. But I'm going to do Uru first, so I'm going to move. The reason being, and adding 2 progress to get it up to 3. The reason being that if I get the 1 progress, if it comes up with a red crest, I will clear the doe before the red crest challenge effect comes up. Okay. So, I have to go and try it. I got my 2 spirit to do the connect test. I have no other connect icons in my hand, and I can't chance trying to dig in my deck for one. So I'm 2 versus 1. 0. Nice. So I succeed with 2 progress. That is more than its 5 threshold. So the doe is saved, although it actually goes under lure because I cleared a prey. And then Flood gets shuffled back into the deck. And then we get a third token on Rising Waters. And then I get to now read entry 107. Okay. So with some quick thinking and a lot of backbreaking work, you manage to redirect the worst of the floodwaters and save what you can. Thanks to your effort, this location is through the worst of it. Check off the bubble matching your current location next to Rising Waters. So I have completed Kobo's Market already, and this is White Sky. So we're going to take our campaign tracker, and I'm going to color in the second bubble. If all 3 locations are complete, where there is not, clear all the progress from the mission card, and I'm not. Okay, so that is that. Oh, and now I got to do mountain effects. Nothing. Add a token to the weather. And nothing. Should I? I don't have a lot of cards in my hand right now, so I am going to focus and try to remember my ranger training. So I'm a 1 versus 1 test on focus. -1, so I fail. Okay, nothing inherent from a failure. Looking at red crest, nothing here. 2, if there are 2 active predators, nope. And if there's an active predator, nope. If there's an active predator, nope. All right. I am. So I've got Artel's Vaulting Rod, which I couldn't put it in. I'd have to get rid of one of these if I want to get rid of it. So there's no point in even putting that in. So we're going to rest. And we are going to choose to travel. So taking a look at our map, we are at White Sky, and we have to get up the Golden Shore for the last one. We can either come up to Lone Tree Station, then Atrox Mountain, and then Golden Shore, or we can come across to Mount Nim and then Golden Shore. I am going to choose to go to Mount Nim through a mountain path, and then hopefully hightail it over to Golden Shore as quickly as I can. So let me get that all set up here. Elder Murtok Grawl is going to go away, but Artel is going to stay with me because of the Helping Hand mission. He becomes persistent. So let me set up the new location. All right, we're back at Mount Nim. Climbing the spurs of Mount Dim is tiring work. A brisk wind chills your skin. As you approach the summit, you look out and see almost the entirety of the valley stretching to the south. White Sky Lake glimmers below. Then, following the thread of the Silverfin River, you can spot the thin, gleaming spike of Spire in the distance. Beyond, you imagine you can see the mouth of the valley, where the ground drops away into the emerald expanse of the Verdessa below. All right, so now we look at our setup here. Rival setup, lead ranger, draw 2 path cards. Choose one to put into play and discard the other. If one of the cards has an ambush, you must choose that card. And the flood cards are not in here because this is not one of the locations. So, all right, and this has got a 4 progress threshold per ranger with a presence value of 2. All right, so we get 2. Quizzy Voss. And Shale Scree. Oh, God. Neither of these are good for me. What do I want to do here? So if I... All right, neither of them have the ambush, so I don't have to take that one. So I get to choose which one I want to do. I'm actually going to choose Quizzy Voss. And she's coming in with 80. Girl, what are you doing out here? The valley's flooding. Go be with your mom. Get to safety. Come on. From up ahead, you hear a child quietly singing to herself. You move around a large cedar bowl to find a young girl, maybe 8 years old, tracing patterns in the ground with a rock. She's covered in dirt, head to toe. In place of her right hand is a miraculous piece of technology, a prosthesis, gleaming in the sunlight, its fingers suspended in air, held only by her body's memory of the hand. As soon as she notices you, she hops to her feet. Hi, I'm Quizzy. What are you doing? Where are you going? What is that? Can I use it? Each time you answer a question, she has another one at the ready. It seems like you have a new traveling companion, at least until you can satisfy her curiosity. All right. Because I've already rested, she's fatiguing, which means anytime I rest, I fatigue one, but I've already rested. So now we do the refresh. So draw a card into my goggles. Nice. That is definitely going to help me down the road. All right, and now we're at the top of the round, so we've got to draw a path card into a fresh Sitka carcass. I haven't seen this one before. So it has a presence of 3. Oof. 3 harm threshold, and progress, you clear it by putting your ranger token there. And awareness plus connect against a threshold of 2 to watch for the opportunity. What is it? Watch for opportunities. Carnivores to move. Watch for opportunistic carnivores. Sorry, I'm having trouble reading tonight. To move your ranger token to this feature. Okay. All right, so we're going to want to deal with that. That might be a problem for another day. We'll see. So we are going to try to connect to Quizzy Voss. 2 to 1. -1. So I succeed. I get 1 progress on her. Right, blue mountain effects. Nothing, mountains, add 1 token. Or missions, add 1 token to the weather. Okay, the carcass has 1. If there is an active predator, there is not. Perfect. Quizzy and Artel, nope, nothing there. All right, so now Uru is going to go push Quizzy Voss to the Sitka carcass and put 2 progress on her, getting her up to 3, which is going to be enough to clear her off. That's an interesting choice, but sheepdog, you know what you're doing. After a nonstop barrage of questions, you're a bit surprised when Quizzy suddenly stops talking because she's standing in the middle of a deer carcass. You turn, and she's standing on a rock, shielding her eyes as she looks at the sun. I would stay and help you some more, but I can't be late for dinner. See you some other time. She hops off the rock and scampers down the path, vanishing from view in an instant. Each ranger sues 2 fatigue and then discard Quizzy. All right, so my 2 fatigue is going to be homeward bound and persuasive. All right. All right, you know what? Let's try to clear that out right now. We are going to do 2 awareness, and I am going to commit that homeward bound to try this awareness and connect test to watch for opportunistic predators. It is a 0, so that is a 3 success, so I succeed, so I get to move my ranger token to it. And because all ranger tokens are on it, it clears. And nothing particular for clearing it. All right, now sun effect. Yellow sun, we remove a cloud and fatigue ourselves. Oh, these are all away. And nothing on the missions, nothing up here, nothing there. So just that. All right, and that is going to be a reshuffle, though. Oh, hang on a second. Oh, beautiful. The fresh Sitka carcass is a prey. So when a prey is cleared, it comes underneath lure. So I am at 4 out of 5 presents for that one. Nice. All right. So we are now going to try to make some progress on our location. We're going to commit 3 fitness and a boundary sensor. So we are 4 versus 2. That is a 0. So we succeed. We get 4 progress on here, which is enough to get us to move. Now, red challenge effect. Not the weather. Missions, if there are 2 active predators. Nope, nothing. Nothing here. If there's a predator, nothing there. Okay. So that is it. You know, I'm feeling pretty good right now. I'm going to try to just do the focus test. Technically focus and knowledge, but I don't have any knowledge. Well, I have 1, but I'm not going to use it on this. To try to remember my ranger training, and I would scout ranger cards equal to your effort, then draw 1 ranger card. I guess I'll use photoscopic headset in case I succeed. So I'm 1 versus 1. Oh, that is a 0, so I succeed. Effort of 1, but I get to add 1. So I get to scout 2 cards. Homeward Bound and Riri. I am absolutely taking Riri, and I'm going to leave Homeward Bound on top. Well, technically they're both on top, but I'm just going to put Riri on top. And then I draw 1. Hey, it's Riri. Blue. Nothing with the weather. Missions. I add 1 cloud. Nothing along the way. Nothing within reach with the blue challenge. So I am done. I am tapped out on energy, so I'm going to choose to rest. And I'm going to choose to travel. So we are at Mount Nim. We're going to travel up to the Golden Shore. So let me get that going here. All right, we've reached the Golden Shore. It is a 1 presence. Has a 3 per ranger progress token on it. It has a test, spirit, and knowledge to contemplate the rhythmic waves as they Lap the glittering shoreline to soothe one fatigue for every 2 effort. Looking at the setup, now it says entry 12, but because Rising Waters is in play, we've got to read 1.05 instead, which I think means that we can't actually complete Artel's Helping Hand mission until we finish Rising Waters, leave, then come back, because his Helping Hand is triggered by reading entry number 12. So I spent a little bit of time looking because I'm like, well, what's going to happen there? So I think that's what actually happens. It doesn't, spoiler alert, it doesn't really matter because we've already completed his mission once. We don't get anything extra if we help him out this time around. All right, so Golden Shore. Tributary streams north of the shoreline have begun to spill their banks, becoming a boiling sluice of brown water among the pines. If the water isn't redirected, it could wash out long stretches of the shoreline and carry away dozens or even hundreds of trees. Divert the flood by clearing beings and features while they have the flooded card attached, etc., etc. Search the general set for 2 flooded cards because it's day 1. Okay, let's go through the regular setup first. So it is just draw 1 path card. That path card is a fresh blue kelpweed. All right, so now we do the flood cards. Now, actually, I can't even clear Artel, so I don't think I can attach it to him. I'm not sure if that counts anyway. I would think it does, but because I can't actually clear him with Helping Hand attached. Oh, hang on. Is this a feature? Oh, yeah, it is actually a feature. So I'm going to make it simple by just attaching flood. The fresh blue kelpweed is being flooded. I'm not really sure how that works, but we're going with it. And then we're shuffling the other flood into the path deck and hope that that doesn't come up again. Right, now we're going to ready all our cards. Refresh our energy. Draw a card, which is Homeward Bound. And then we draw another path card, which is a Romping Lutrinol. It is a being, predator, and prey. Presence of 1, 2 harm threshold, 5 presence threshold. And it has ambush, so I am fatigued. Now, on the bright side, this will be the last prey that I would need to pop under lure. So, okay. All right, so my turn. First things first. We're going to use Uru to push the Lutrinol out along the way and put 2 progress on him. Actually, before we do that, a bit of a retcon. We are going to spend 2 awareness to get Riri the Sparrowhawk out, who is then going to swoop down and deal a damage to the Romping Lutrinol. Then Uru is going to chase him off. And put 2 progress on him. So that way I can always just have Riri doing the extra damage. All right. Next, I am going to 1, 2, 3 fitness, and yeah, we're just gonna go 3 up. On the kelpweed, I think just 3 up. Do I want to use a boundary sensor for this? Yeah, let's use a boundary sensor. So we're 4. 4 versus 1. -1. So I succeed with 3 effort. So I get to put 3 effort on the kelpweed, which is enough to discard it. So flood token, the flood goes away, gets shuffled back into the deck, and we put 1 progress on floodwaters. Kelpweed is not prey, so it doesn't go under lure. And now we're going to do red challenge effects. Right, nothing here. Missions, if there are 2 active predators, there is not. The romping lutrinol, if there are other active romping lutrinols, there are not. All right. I'm debating on if I want to connect up. I don't think I do quite yet. So I can't do the traverse test. I don't have money enough to do other things. I'm just debating on if I want to try to actually clear, because I could try to do a connect test on lutrinol. If I get a +1, I actually clear it, and that's enough for lure. But I like having it out here just in case I happen to top deck a flood card, then I can get it out on it easily. So I think I'm just going to end my turn here. Yep, we're just going to choose to rest. We are not going to travel. We don't have the progress. Ready everything up. Draw a card into another Hydra Lens Goggles. And draw a path card, which is Flood. Man, that's convenient. Convenient for me. All right. So we are going to have Oru the Sheepdog pull the lutrinol out of the rising waters and put 2 progress on him. So he's at 4. It is super tempting to just have Riri ping the damage to clear it out, because again, Flood doesn't care whether or not you clear it through harm or through connection, but that just seems wrong. So we're going to try to connect. So we're 2 versus 1. Just need to get 1. Yeah, we're just going to chance it. 2 versus 1. 0. So I succeed with 2. So that is 6. It clears. So Flood, I get to add another token to it, and it's going to get shuffled back in the deck. Since this is both a predator and, more importantly, it is a prey, instead, when it gets cleared, we set it aside with the lure mission. And so we now have 5 presence of underneath it. So when we move to a new location, we can start working on things. So, all right. Now we do the challenge effect. We lose a cloud. We get fatigued 1. Nothing, nothing, nothing. Okay. I really need to find my healing touch. All right, so we are going to spend 2 awareness to get my Hydra Lens Goggles out. I'm going to traverse here. 1, 2, 3. I'm not going to use Boundary Sensor. I'm just going to go 3 versus 1. 0. So I succeed. So I get 3 progress on Golden Shore, so I can leave at any time. I do get fatigued again, though. That's not pleasant. And that is it. I'm going to try to remember my ranger training, go 1 versus 1, 0, so I succeed, and then I get to scout another one, so I get to scout 2 cards. Oh, Healing Touch, it was on top. You know, I don't really need the whistle right. You know what? I am actually going to keep the whistle on there. So I'm going to keep Healing Touch, basically the exact same thing as what it was. Draw Healing Touch. The reason why is because if I can get Quiet Out, Riri can do a damage, and then I can use this to do 3 progress to it. So, perfect. Now, challenge effects, nothing here. Two active predators, nope. Active predator, nope. Okay. So I am going to end my turn. So I just need to find one more flood. I need to get a feature or a being out, and then that flood. There's my whistle. Oh, flood needs to get shuffled back in. That's why it's on top like that. All right. So I got to do some heavy scouting with my Hydra Lens goggles next turn, I think. All right, so that's shuffled up. I'm all ready up, so I draw a card. It is Tala the Red Exile. All right, well. That is 84. You don't know everyone in the valley, but the moment you spot the woman walking toward you, you can tell she's not a local. It's not just the heavy furs and well-used ice axe hanging from her belt. The tightness around her eyes and mouth expresses discomfort with everything around her. You greet her, and she stares at you warily. "I'm Tala the Red," she finally replies reluctantly, "formerly of the Ice Clans of the North." Clear Tala with progress to hear about her exile. Sure. If I have time, I'll try to find you a new home. And maybe just be using you as a convenient person to try to save from flooding. All right, so my turn. I am going to use a charge off of Hydra Lens goggles. I'm going to do 2 awareness. I'm going to pitch Artel's Vaulting Rod for that knowledge icon, and I'm going to tap the photoscopic headset. So I am 3 versus 1. Yep. 3 versus 1, minus 1. So I succeed 2 versus 1. Plus I get to draw, or I succeed 2 versus 1. So I have progress of 2. So I get to scout 2 cards, but because of photoscopic headset, I get to scout 3 instead. 1, 2, 3. No floods. All right, we're going to put all of these things on the bottom and then draw blind. Tributary stream, we get an obstacle. So we either can spirit and connect to soak our feet and soothe fatigue, or focus and explore to follow the stream and add 1 progress to the feature, which I don't need. So, all right. So what we're going to do is we're going to do 2. I guess we'll do. I'll pitch a Homeward Bound to be a 3 versus 2. Oh, I did not do the. Shoot, I did not do the sun effect. Takes me down to 3, and I fatigue again. That's the only thing it was. Now we'll try it. 3 versus 2. Minus 1. I succeed. So I move this. And then I get to soothe fatigue equal to my effort, which is a 2. So I get to soothe 2 fatigue, a boundary sensor, and a bold. And then this obstacle goes away and comes back here. I guess I'm going to use my whistle to put down, or my one focus to put down my Paratrepsis whistle. That also loads me entirely on my gear. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's really nothing for me to do from a fitness perspective, so we're just going to end our turn. Right, I am not going to travel. So we're going to ready. Things were looking good, and I was thinking I might be able to clear the flood and the lure, but now I'm starting to worry. Right, we're drawing a card. It is a Tidewater Mucket. So I get to soothe some fatigue there. All right, my turn. So we're going to use our goggles again. We're going to commit 2 awareness, and I got no knowledge of icons to commit. So it is 2 versus 1. -1. So I succeed with a progress of 1. But with my photoscopic headset, I get to look at 2. So 1, 2, Tributary Stream, and Calypsa. Just everybody's coming out to help the last location, I guess, or to distract me. Putting both of them on the bottom and drawing blind. It is a Lutrinal Holt. All right. That is not an obstacle, but that doesn't help me at all. Shoot. Blue challenge effect. Add 1 token to the weather. Along the way, exhaust this feature, go get a romping Lutrinal. Alright, so let's make some room here. And it is search the path deck. So that that scouting was absolutely worthless because I just shuffled the deck. All right, now nothing here. If there's an active predator, there is. Exhaust it and add damages being equal to the predator's presence. So exhaust it, do a damage. And now move a being. We'll move the romping Lutrinal, I guess? I don't know. And nothing there. Alright, so alright, I'm going to do this fitness test on the Tidewater Mucket. So I'm a 3 versus a 1. -1. So I succeed. So add 1 to this and then soothe 2 fatigue. So I'm up to 2 damage. Soothing 2 fatigue. I get a re and a bold. And then this clears out, and because this is prey, this actually goes underneath lure. Alright, mountain effect. Nothing. Add a weather. These are exhausted. The fauna flees before Tala. Move a being. Okay, well, you're back here. Riri will ping a damage onto the Lutrinal. Oru will move it and give it 2 progress. man. This test on this is just to soothe fatigue. I'm down to only 3 fatigue cards in my deck, so I think, or 3 cards in my fatigue stack, so I'm not too worried about that. God knows I've got enough cards in my hand. My worry is just clearing out Rising Waters before I deck out, and then I was really hoping to get Lure out, but because Lure's going to come out and ambush me for 3, isn't he? 1, 2, 3. Yeah, so I don't know if I'm going to be able to do this, but we will see. So I don't want to draw any more cards. I can connect with something, I guess, but I don't want to do another test because that might fatigue me, so we're just going to end my turn. I could really use an Eagle Eye right about now. Nope, not an Eagle Eye. I'm not traveling, obviously. And then we get, come on, Flood. Nope, a Lutrinol. Oh, man. Just looking to see what I can do with. I got a bunch of icons here. So, all right. So what we're going to do is we are going to have Oru go chase this Lutrinol off. We are now going to do the focused and connect test to try to coax the Lutrinol back to their lair to add 1 lure to this feature. So we're going to spend 1 focus, a versatile, and I guess just a Hydra Lens goggles. So we'll be a 3 versus 2. +1, so I succeed. So I get to add a lure here. Unfortunately, okay, Blue Mountains. Up here, nothing, nothing, nothing. Add a weather token. All right. Okay, let me see here. I'm going to take a look at both of these to see what their their blue challenge effects are. So exhaust this feature to go find a Romping Lutrinol and put it into play. And then if there's another active predator other than a Lutrinol. So, this is all going to pot. Okay. So I have to go find another Romping Lutrinol. Put it into play. So that's with me. Shuffle this thing up. I am hoping that I get the flood in here before I deck out, but I think I am going to get hosed on the lure mission just because I've been trying to get that last one out. All right. We are going to try to do a traverse test onto this feature. I'm going to use 3 energy because I got a bunch in my hand. I am, you know what? Let's just use the boundary sensor. Use the last one. And I'm going to exhaust my ranger card to avoid the romping lutrinol. So, and because these two are on the same location, I don't take fatigue from it. So 4 versus 1, no, 4 versus 2. +1. So I succeed. I have enough to clear this. And then when I clear it with progress, shoving a romping lutrinol into the path deck for each lure on this feature. So I get to shuffle one of these in. I'm going to do the one that's right next to me. All right. This is not going well for me. Okay, and now we got to do the yellow sun effect, so... And then it fatigues me 1. And then yellow here. If there is another romping lutrinol in play, which there is, it frolics among the reeds. Move it to within reach. And honestly, both of them are just going to come within reach because... I don't remember if there was 2 or 4 on there. I don't know. It's not going to matter in a second. Because we're going to have Riri do a damage and clear out this lutrinol. Oh, and I got to shuffle this up. All right, so I think I gotta chance it. I gotta find that last flood. So I'm gonna use my last HydroLens goggle charge and photoscopic headset. I have no knowledge icon, so I'm a 2 versus a 1. 0. So I succeed. And I get to scout 3 path cards. 1, 2, 3. Kelpweed, Tributary Stream, Flood. Oh, thank goodness. All right. So Flood is going to go to the lutrinol. And then these 2... Oh, I'm definitely putting Tributary Stream on the bottom since that's an obstacle. I'll keep Kelpweed also on the top just so I know I'm going to have something that's not going to block me. All right. All right, red challenge effect. Nothing here. 2 active predators. No. Nothing. If the number of flood tokens on the attached card is greater than its presence, discard it. Nope. If there are other active romping lutrinals, nope. If there's an active predator, exhaust it. Add harm to this being equal to this predator's presence. So Talia takes 1, and now there is not an active predator, so R doesn't get hit. All right, we are going to try to connect with the romping neutral, 2 to 1. -1. I succeed with a 1. That's important because that gets me up to 3. So then Uru will be able to move it and clear it out next turn. All right. Red Sun, nothing. Not 2 active predators and nothing active. And number of flood tokens, no flood tokens on it. Okay. So I'm good. I am spent. So we're going to call it a turn. How many cards do I have left? I will just not be able to do the lure mission. All right, photoscopic headset. Okay, draw a path card. Hey, look, it's fresh blue kelpweed, which we already knew. Oh, this is ready as well. So I am going to Uru the Sheepdog to move the Romping Luchonol, which gets it, and 2 progress, which gets it up to 5, which clears it, which puts it under lure. And then that gives us 3 progress on it. So we get to read 1.07. With some quick thinking and a lot of backbreaking work, you manage to redirect the worst of the floodwaters and save what you can. Thanks to your effort, this location is through the worst of it. Clear all this. I get to check off the third mission. And all 3 locations are completed. You've done it. The floodwaters have been diverted, and you've saved the area around White Sky Lake from the worst of it. You decide to take a much-needed nap, only to wake up an impromptu party. A number of the locals have gathered with food and drink, and you end up spending most of the afternoon celebrating. Your revelry is interrupted when a man runs up to you and breathlessly says, "You need to come and see this!" Complete the Rising Waters mission, return all flood cards from the path deck, discard, and play to your collection. Each ranger soothes 2 fatigue, then read 107A. So I get Versatile and Artel's Vaulting Rod. Flood cards go away. All right. Unless something allows me to shuffle cards from my discard pile into my deck. It's not going to matter, but you follow the man to a small crowd of people gathered by a wide, dark tangle of fallen trees, murmuring to one another in low tones. Calypsa and Cal Ivor are there as well, speaking quietly to one another. Among the debris, there's a startling sight. Dozens of strange corpses deposited here by the flood. The corpses are battered, broken, and caked in filth, but they are all clearly one species, a biomeld, and unlike anything any of you have seen before. You see pale flesh, eyeless faces, and long limbs ending in claws. Calypsa approaches you with a haunted look in her face. Cal and I are going to help clean up this mess. What are they? And where did they come from? She places her hand on your shoulder. Bring word of this to the Elder Orlin and Spire. If anyone in the valley knows what these things are, it's her. Travel to Spire within the next 4 days to speak with Elder Orlin. Gain the Journey Spire mission and record 94.3 4 days from now in the campaign tracker. All right. So we're on 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So that is 94.3. And we have to go find Journey Spire. All right, so Journey, the Journey mission is just a kind of a generic one. You put the location underneath it, and once you arrive there, you complete it. So there is Spire. Right, so we're going to put that underneath it. Rising water goes away. And that's it. So take a look at the map here. So we are up here in Golden Shores. We need to get down here to Spire. So there's not a direct path. So we could go 1, 2, 3, 4, or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So the quickest is going to be to go down through the fractured wall in the Philosopher's Garden. I don't know if I want to do that, though. I think I'm going to come down Lone Tree Station-wise. Maybe if I can find some in the next day, because I'm not going to be able to do it today. Aatrox Mountain or Lone Tree Station, if I find enough prey to maybe get this quiet lure mission out, but we'll see. All right, so that is that. Doesn't end my day. I still get to continue. Nothing else I want to do here. Sure, actually, I'm gonna... Oh, no, I don't have that, so... Sure, what the heck, since I've got... I will spend a fitness to put down Artel's vaulting rod into play, which kicks those 2 gear out. So, because it's the 3 gear slots, comes in with 2 vaults. Just because I've never actually... I don't think I've ever actually had it out. And it really doesn't matter at this point. So, we're going to end our turn, and we're going to choose to travel. We're going to choose to travel to Aatrox Mountain, and that is through the woods. So let me get that set up here real quick. All right, I got everything set up for Aatrox Mountain here. But before I do the setup here, the lure mission, I think, triggers first. So, arrive at a new location while there is 5 or more total presence of prey set aside, which there is 1, 2, 5, and 6. Read 1.42. It took some time to find enough bait, and even longer to get close to one of our hunting grounds. She's nowhere to be seen, but you don't have any interest in using yourself as bait. Instead, you release the prey animals and observe from a distance. You wait for hours before you spot movement. You hold your breath as the sleek, shadowy form of the largest bearded lynx you've ever seen slips out of the underbrush. With quiet right before you, you have a choice. You can try to understand and perhaps even befriend the lynx, as Nal would want, or you can try to kill her and ensure the valley's safety, as Kobo would want. Flip the lure quiet card over to its confront side, but don't change your mission log. If you don't complete the confrontation, you will have to track her down again. Right? And then it says, put quiet into play within reach of a ranger of your choice. Do not read her entry. Return all set-aside prey to the collection. Unfortunately, quiet here has got a 3 presence and ambush. So it immediately fatigues me 3 cards, which is all that I had left, which means I fatigue out. Yeah, just checking ambush. Yep. So that's twice now that Quiet has fatigued me before I had a chance to do anything with him. So Oh well, c'est la vie. So that is day 5. At least I was able to save the valley from the rising waters, and now we've got this mystery of what those beings are. So lure goes back on its quiet side. All the prey go back into their set, and then we will start again another day. Then. So as always, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. We're making progress. We got a new mystery in the valley to explore. And I will be back again for day 6 before too long. If you liked it, hit the like button. You want to see more of this, hit the subscribe button. You want to see anything specific or saw anything I did wrong or question why I did something, go ahead and leave a comment below. I'll get some Marvel Champions up before too long. Unfortunately, the game store that I ordered X-23 and Deadpool from, I wasn't able to get there Friday to pick it up. And because it's a little bit more of a distribution center than a game store, they have multiple locations. They're actually closed the whole weekend, so it's sitting there waiting for me to pick up, which I plan to do tomorrow. So hopefully I'll get some X-23 and Deadpool out on the table and uploaded here before long as well. So again, thank you as always for watching, and I will be back again soon. Have a great night, everybody.